The man who helped launch Diddy's career just became a major witness against him. I'm looking at court documents that reveal serious allegations. Madolari, the same Madolari known for Feel So Good, appeared in court, and his statements left a significant impact. What he claimed. That's where this story gets intense. He alleged Diddy paid a substantial sum, not for silence, but to conceal damaging information. And before you think this is just another celebrity spat, let me tell you, I've been looking into this for months, and what I found could change how you view Bad Boy Records. But first, I need to ask you something. Are you ready for the truth? Because once you hear this, there's no turning back. Drop a comment if you think you can handle what's coming next, because this goes deeper than anyone imagined. Let me take you back to 1997. I was just a kid watching MTV when Can't Nobody Hold Me Down dropped. Diddy and Madolari were a formidable duo. They weren't just making music, they were building an empire. Madolari was the rising star, the smooth-talking rapper who could make any beat sound like a hit. Diddy was the mastermind behind it all. But here's what's often overlooked: their relationship was always more complicated than it appeared publicly. I've spoken to people who worked at Bad Boy back then, and they describe a level of control that went beyond a typical record deal. Madolari wasn't just signed to Bad Boy, there were claims he was heavily bound by its terms. Then, seemingly overnight, Madolari stepped away. One day he's at the top, the next he's reportedly walking away from millions to become a pastor. The official story? He found God. But I've uncovered information that suggests his departure wasn't solely about salvation, it was about survival. For 20 years, Madolari remained largely quiet. He made a few comeback attempts, threw some veiled criticisms at Diddy, but nothing concrete. Nothing that would lead to legal action. Until 3 months ago, when a court summons changed everything. What made Madolari finally speak out? What secret was so heavy that even a man of God couldn't carry it anymore? Keep watching, because the answer will be unsettling. I need to paint you a picture of what Madolari's life looked like after he left Bad Boy. This wasn't your typical celebrity burnout story. Multiple sources who knew Madolari during his transition describe him as wary, often cautious, and easily startled. In 2004, Madolari reportedly found a recording device in his car. Not some amateur job equipment described as professional grade, similar to what law enforcement uses. He never reported it. When I asked him why through his representatives, the response was cryptic: some things are better left buried. But the most disturbing part? A studio intern named Jessica Martinez went missing in 1999. She was last seen leaving Diddy's East Hampton mansion after a recording session. A police report was filed, but the case went cold quickly. Jessica's family hired private investigators, but every lead reportedly stalled. Madolari later claimed he was in that studio the night Jessica disappeared. He says he saw things, heard things, that made him realize he wasn't just witnessing the music industry's dark side. He was seeing something much more serious. According to court documents I've obtained, Madolari testified that Diddy pulled him aside that night and allegedly said, "Sometimes people ask too many questions. Sometimes they need to disappear." Madolari initially thought it was just aggressive talk, industry posturing. Until Jessica never came home. Are you starting to see the pattern? Because this is just the beginning. Hit that like button if you're ready for what comes next, and drop a comment telling me what you think happened to Jessica. Fast forward to 2024. Madolari receives a subpoena for a federal investigation into Bad Boy Records' business practices. But this wasn't about royalties or contract disputes. This was about something much more grave. I was there when Madolari took the stand. The courtroom was packed: reporters, industry insiders, people who'd been waiting for this moment. Madolari walked to that witness stand like a man carrying a heavy burden. His testimony was impactful. He didn't just name names, he reportedly provided dates, bank records, wire transfers. Madallery claimed that Diddy had wired $250,000 to Detective Raymond Torres, a now retired NYPD officer who worked cases in Manhattan during the late 90s. But here's where it gets really unsettling. Madallery testified about an off-grid warehouse in Queens that Diddy allegedly used for cleanups. Not the kind of cleaning you're thinking about. Madallery described seeing industrial-grade equipment, plastic sheeting, and chemical barrels. He said Diddy called it the Solution Center. The prosecution reportedly had a key witness ready to support Madallery's testimony, a former bad boy security guard named Marcus Thompson. But Marcus never made it to court. He disappeared the week before the trial. His car was found abandoned at JFK Airport, but Marcus was nowhere to be found. Then came a powerful moment in Madallery's testimony. With tears in his eyes, he looked directly at the jury and said, "I kept quiet for 24 years because they promised to kill my brother if I spoke. They said they'd make him disappear just like Jessica." The courtroom was silent. You could hear a pin drop. But was Madallery telling the truth, or was this a calculated move? The answer will be surprising, but first, I need to show you the evidence that was never supposed to see the light of day. Comment below if you think Madallery is telling the truth or if this is an act. Because what I'm about to reveal will change your answer completely. What I'm about to share with you are significant claims that Madallery made in court. Each one more striking than the last. I've attempted to verify these claims through multiple sources, and let me tell you, the picture they paint is disturbing. Missing person case linked to bad boy record surfaces. Keisha Williams, a 19-year-old backup dancer, reportedly disappeared in 2001 after threatening to expose what she witnessed at a bad boy party. Madallery testified that Keisha had video evidence of illegal activities. The video was never found. Neither was Keisha. Madallery alleges Diddy used a charity for questionable payments. The Inner City Youth Foundation reportedly raised millions but had limited documented impact on its stated goals. Madallery provided bank records showing the charity paid consulting fees to people who later reportedly refused to testify in various investigations. Is this starting to make sense? Because it gets worse. Informant connected to case found deceased in hotel. Tommy Rodriguez was reportedly intensely interested in Madallery's career and had been following him for years. When federal agents approached Tommy to be an informant, he agreed. 3 days later, he was found dead in a Times Square hotel. The official cause of death? Accidental drowning. In 3 feet of water. Private jet logs indicate Diddy departed country after alleged studio incident. Flight records show Diddy's private jet left for the Dominican Republic hours after Jessica Martinez was reported missing. He stayed there for 2 weeks, claiming it was his spiritual retreat. But Madallery testified that Diddy called him from the island, reportedly panicked and asking if the heat had died down. Security footage from studio allegedly tampered with night intern disappeared. The night Jessica went missing, security cameras at the recording studio mysteriously malfunctioned. But Madallery claims the footage was deliberately erased by someone with inside access. Someone who knew exactly which cameras to target. Rapper reportedly paid to remain silent about contaminated studio couch. An unnamed rapper, whom Madallery identified only as TG, reportedly received $10,000 in cash to keep quiet about a soiled couch he witnessed being removed from the studio. TG allegedly took the money and never spoke about it again until recently. Former bodyguard, Diddy had a secluded room with no cameras. Marcus Thompson, the missing security guard, had previously told investigators about a soundproof room in Diddy's mansion that had no security cameras. Madallery testified that this room was where private conversations happened. The kind of conversations that people reportedly didn't walk away from unscathed. Retired officer, we were instructed to keep it unofficial. Detective Torres, the retired NYPD officer, initially denied any connection to Diddy. But when presented with bank records showing the $250,000 transfer, he reportedly admitted to being paid to make certain problems disappear. He claimed he thought it was just about covering up drug use, not something more serious. "Madollery, I found an envelope. It had a stain. And a USB drive." This is a significant claim that reportedly halted the trial. Madollery testified that he found an envelope in Diddy's office containing a stained piece of fabric and a USB drive. When he asked about it, Diddy allegedly said, "Some secrets are worth killing for." But here's where the story takes a turn that nobody saw coming. Are you ready for the twist that changes everything? Because what happened next will make you question everything you just heard. Smash the like button if your mind is blown, and comment your theory about what was on that USB drive. Because the truth is even more complex than you think. But then the prosecutors dropped the charges. All of them. Why? I spent weeks trying to get answers, and what I discovered is more unsettling than the original allegations. The evidence that Madollery testified about, the USB drive, the bank records, the witness statements, it all reportedly became inaccessible. That USB drive Madollery claimed to have found? It was never officially entered into evidence. The prosecution claimed they never received it. But here's the kicker, Madollery's lawyers say they handed it over during discovery. So where did it go? The surveillance tapes from the studio that night? Reportedly corrupted. All of them. A federal investigation into one of the biggest record labels in history, and somehow every piece of digital evidence became unusable. Madollery's testimony? Struck from the record. The judge ruled it was prejudicial and based on hearsay. 24 years of silence, and when Madollery finally speaks, the court reportedly dismisses his words as inadmissible. But here's the twist that nobody saw coming. Diddy's lawyers reportedly revealed that Madollery had been offered a deal. A substantial one. Enough money to disappear again, this time permanently. And according to sources close to the case, Madollery was seriously considering it. Then, the day before the charges were dropped, Madollery's legal team reportedly filed a motion to recant his testimony. They claimed he was emotionally unstable and not credible. But I've obtained text messages that suggest something else entirely. They got to him. One message reads, "Madollery is scared. He knows too much, and now they know he knows." So what really happened in that courtroom? Did Madollery tell the truth and get silenced, or was this a complex play? The answer might be more intricate than either option. Comment below with your theory. Was Madollery silenced, or was his testimony part of a larger strategy? Because there's one more piece to this puzzle that changes everything. So did Madollery tell the truth, or was he seeking retribution? The court remains silent, but the story didn't end there. 3 weeks after the charges were dropped, Madollery released a statement through his church. The truth has a way of surfacing, even when buried deep. Some battles are fought in courtrooms, others in the hearts of men. But here's what's really interesting, one name keeps surfacing in new investigations. Federal agents are still digging, still asking questions. And sources tell me that Madollery isn't the only one willing to talk. I can't tell you everything I know, not yet. But I can tell you this, the story of Madollery and Diddy is far from over. New potential witnesses are reportedly coming forward, new information is being uncovered, and the truth, whatever it is going to emerge. If you want to stay updated on this story as it develops, make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. This case is likely to develop further, and you don't want to miss it. Drop a comment telling me what you think really happened. Do you believe Madollery, or do you think this was all calculated? And most importantly, what do you think was on that USB drive? The truth is out there, and I'm going to keep digging until we find it. Because some secrets are too significant to stay buried forever. Hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and I'll see you in the next video where we dive even deeper into the Bad Boy Records situation. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.